Ready to Launch was started in March of last year, so we're a relatively new organization. And it was really created by myself and my co-founder, Erica Liepman, after working in politics and government for many years and realizing how difficult it was for us and many of our peers to break in. My co-founder, Erica, had worked in the mayor of Los Angeles's office. Previously, we had worked on political campaigns together, and both of us had a really hard time breaking in. We wanted to kind of figure out like how to help other young women get their foot in the door. And really, we first wanted to like validate what we had experienced as something that was like a universal issue. So we started really looking at the data. And what we found was that there's not a lot of data out there about the diversity of particularly government and political staff. So what we were able to find was that, for students who are looking to get an internship, which is usually the first step into a government role or a political role, students report that choosing and finding internship that pays is a really important data point, and most government internships are not paid. We also found that in congressional internships, there's a huge disparity between, the representation of congressional interns from different populations versus the percentage of the population that they make up. Undergraduate students from private universities are also highly overrepresented in congressional internships. So we have really a lot of underrepresentation of students from public universities. Community college students are often also really left out. And young people from higher income backgrounds are also 72% more likely to participate in roles in political campaigns, policy, or government agencies compared to those from lower income households. And men are 75% more likely than women, LGBTQ identifying folks, and people of color to hold senior leadership roles as staff in government. So we saw that the data really validated the experience that we had had, that it was really, really challenging to be a woman, to be a young woman of color trying to break into this space. So we identified the 4 kind of problem statements that we were looking to solve, which is that politics is an exclusive field. Internships are often unpaid, and they create a barrier to entry for low-income students and young women. Recruitment is not really standardized. There's not like an HR department in a lot of these government offices, particularly on the local levels. And so it's really hard to, even find these roles because nobody's actually out there paying attention to the pipeline. And then because of this, staff roles are, predominantly held by white men. And so because of that, we're still facing a lot of those barriers as we look to try to enter these fields. And so Ready to Launch was really founded to address these issues. And we serve our population of women through a fellowship program where we go really deep with small cohorts of women, as well as public events that we hold for the broader community. And our solution is really focused on 4 pillars. So we recruit women from historically marginalized communities by really going out, working with community organizations, reaching out to public universities and community colleges, building relationships with, college readiness programs, really trying to get out there and recruit women who may not necessarily be aware of these career pathways. We also provide a stipend to remove that barrier of unpaid work. So we ensure that we can provide access to folks who wouldn't be able to access these opportunities otherwise. We provide robust training and support to the women through our programs. And then we also connect them to opportunities, both like job opportunities and internship opportunities, but also this broader network of women in politics and government. Our fellowship is really about creating intimate and diverse cohorts. We've had 13 fellows so far, and we really, really were proud to see that we had an extremely reflective applicant pool, which is something that I think a lot of organizations cannot say for our fellowship program. We provide over 40 hours of training and education And we help pair each of our fellows with an internship in an elected official's office so they can get that hands-on experience. And then we provide a one-on-one mentor who's usually a woman from our network who is a professional in government, politics, advocacy, to provide that really in-depth one-on-one support for the fellows going through our program. We pay a $5,000 stipend for a part-time fellowship. So that works out to about $20 an hour for the time that they're with us, because we know that this is a huge barrier to women who are often looking to get the experience, but have to decide between experience and paying the bills. And then we work really hard to build partnerships, like I said, to recruit women from different types of organizations, different places where folks are really not looking for talent, so that we can bring in women from all backgrounds into these fields. We had over 150 applicants for our first 2 cohorts. 90% of the applicants were women of color. The majority came from immigrant families, and over a quarter of them identified as being part of the LGBTQ+ community. So we know that we are really reaching the women that we're looking to find. Part of our training program, we go really in depth on Government 101. We're based in Los Angeles, so we really focus on from the local level all the way up to the federal level, and really focus on, like, how does legislation get passed? Like, how does it work within each of the different branches of government? Really going deep with folks so that they can understand the government and political process. We do political campaigns 101, professional etiquette workshops, writing workshops, resume and mock interviews, public speaking, and then we also do networking practice. So we do this really fun event that a lot of the fellows have really enjoyed, where we do like a speed dating networking event where they get to practice their networking skills and recreate what it might be like to go to an event and get 5 minutes to talk to somebody, and trying to hone your pitch of like who you are and what you do and what you're looking for. Here are some fun photos. Congressmember Judy Chu worked with one of our fellows and had them as an intern in her office. These are some of the pictures from our trainings. This is in the top right corner, our networking speed dating, some of our speakers and our fellows speaking at their graduation. We've had internship placements with really an impressive slate of and diverse slate of government officials, and we're really proud to be able to keep expanding that network. And in terms of the fellowship outcomes, we survey our fellows before and after the fellowship to see how they self-report their feelings about their preparedness for the workplace, their confidence level, their understanding of government and politics, and how they feel like they are in a number of different professional, I think, like networking skills, different types of skills like that. And so what we found is that between the beginning and the end, folks have increased their confidence and their awareness of the career paths that are available to them. They feel more prepared to work in government and politics. They grow more comfortable networking. Almost all of them said that they improved their resumes and LinkedIn profiles. And then our alumni have gone on to secure jobs and internships in nonprofit advocacy organizations, in elected officials' offices, and on campaigns after our program. So we're seeing that people are really leveraging the fellowship as their stepping stone to go deeper into these careers and rise the ranks. I think Emily really captures this success story. When I first met Emily last May, she was working in food service. She was very shy. And in the interview, you could just tell she lit up when she started talking about her passion for environmental justice. And we selected her as one of our fellows for our inaugural class last fall. We helped place her in an internship in her state assembly member's office. And this May, Emily graduated from college and was able to leverage that opportunity to get a full-time job in a state senator's office here in Los Angeles. And then I also wanted to briefly share too that we hold a ton of public events as well. Usually they've been virtual, but we've also experimented with doing some in-person and hybrid as well. And these are really focused on providing career spotlights around the different types of career pathways that are available within government and politics. So like, what does it mean to be a lawyer in the field? What does it mean to work in communications or to be a field deputy? Making sure that we're exposing women to the different career pathways available to them and giving them access to women who have that experience so that they can learn from them and ask for advice. And then we also do, community building events really about like women of color staff who've been successful in government already, or we are doing an event this coming spring that'll be about policy design and how do you go about actually designing a policy from scratch. And so really trying to expose people to the different, not only government staff pathways, but also, what the processes look like once you get there. So that was a brief intro on Ready to Launch. You can learn more about us at letslaunch.org.